Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the show. It's another episode of the Fett Chronicles. We are on episode number 5. I'd like to thank everybody for being here tonight. Go share right now, make a story, do whatever you have to do. Let them know the Fett is on, and we got a pretty good show for tonight. I already see there's a lot of you in here tonight. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. So tonight's guest, I wanted to get into it. So this is how it's going. I did receive a comment as far as not another toy show. And I was like, I'm not really trying to do the toy shows. Yeah, we've had news drop and like that, but I'm just trying to hit subjects more a little that we wouldn't be able to expand on in Toy Migos or get conversations going or some of the stuff like in the background. So again, with that, tonight's guest is the one and only Darth Moocher. What's up, Marco?
Welcome to the show. Everyone? This is
good.
Awesome to be here.
Thank you.
The Fett Chronicles. Have you decided? Is it the Federation?
I'm really liking the Federation right now. Okay. I am, but everybody's calling it like what they like, which I appreciate. So go right ahead. I like the Federation. That's pretty cool. Somebody broke it up when they spelled it, so then I started that too.
There you go.
I like that. What else was brought up? How I keep saying this is a cool network that I'm in with all the shows, and then Scott called it the Fett Work. Yeah, so I really like that.
See, I haven't heard that one. Yeah. That's good. Well, I just want to say thank you for being here. Like I said, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Ernie in general, the Fallen Fett. And so everybody in the Fett Work or Federation, I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Well, I wanted to bring you in because just of this, I want to keep showing like the growth of collecting.
Sure.
And what we are all expanding on. You know, we've all made choices to cut back our collection, or we're only going to start collecting certain things, or I have to pick and choose out of a line now as everything keeps changing in the toy world and our collecting world. I mean, because it's more than that, it's everything. Now it's hard to get anything, whether you collect sneakers, figures, music, records, sports memorabilia, whatever it is. It's getting harder out there.
Yeah,
because
you have
a
to
lot
adapt.
more people are jumping into it.
This world it's adapting. And last week you had Andre on, and he made a great point too. It's almost like, hey, you're not going to sit home and change it. You might as well, you either change or you die, right? So you adapt or die kind of deal. And it kind of sucks, but it forces you and be creative in the way you collect or the way you do anything in this world anymore. Like you said, it could be from sneakers to toys or whatever. It's a evolving thing that I've mentioned before. My collection is my second collection in my lifetime that I've brought from ground zero. And it's two different worlds, right? I could write a book on the first time, and I write a book on what I'm doing now and trying to collect, right? So
and that's the growth, because now you've expanded into Toshi Station Emporium. And that's what I brought you here for, to talk about your growth in the whole 3D printing world.
Yeah, man.
And how that has benefited you and your new thing. So I want to get into that. If you didn't catch the last episode, we got into the whole Marvel thing about the price hikes, the no windows, just a little discussion with some different views. It was myself, Andre, the Slithering Darkness, and 80s baby Dario. So if you haven't checked it out yet, please go check it out. I do want to address one thing. Man, the man's always after Ernie, right? Almost got shut down. Almost got shut down. So as you notice, the intro music had changed, but I love it. It's cool. It still fits me very much, I feel. Yeah. And that was done by Michael Patsos, who came in a clutch. Your son.
My son.
Thank you very much, man, because I love it. It's great. It was in a moment's time, and I think he nailed it. Like, I still feel like that's going to be associated with me. So the other one, they try to get me with copyright strikes, and they're like, whoa, you're growing way too fast. We need to stop this guy. And so I got to switch it up, because I was just going to try and figure out a way to mute it until I figured something out.
Yeah, but then it just kind of puts a damper on the energy
really
and all that stuff. So yeah, man, I'm glad that he was available to do that for you, and it fits your vibe. It fits you. It fits the 80s Ernie,
Yeah. So if somebody needs some music done, I got a connection for you, because I loved it. I thought it was great. So thank you.
Can't stop the Fett on the chat. Can't stop.
Man. Thank you, Mikey, very much for that. I greatly appreciate it, dude, from the bottom of my heart. Awesome. And then thank you, CBD, Chicken Burger Disco, the one who made my intro graphics and everything. sent it to him right away, and he sent it right back. Here you go, fixed with all of the stuff added
Little
to it
sound
and
effects.
everything.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So it really worked out. Here we are, episode 5, a little bit of change. And then, of course, I know I said I'm going to do variety stuff. That needs to come with time, though. I need to grow. I need to get used to being in the driver's seat and not the passenger on everything.
Yeah.
So getting the friends on and doing these type of discussions to where we can BS for over an hour and talk about situation makes me feel more comfortable and like that. Very cool. See, I still saw myself after the countdown went, and that pissed me off. I was like, dang it.
You know,
I got to remember after I hit the video then to go for it. So
yeah. It's those little things, you know, you look back in your 100th episode, you're like, yeah, I saw myself in that one, that episode 5, and you know, I still botch things up, and you know, you just kind of laugh and you go, yeah, but on the inside, you're like, I hate this. This is stupid. Why am I doing this? Yeah, I get it.
I kept forgetting my background that Chamba made for me too, so I got my star field up finally. So little things I got to adjust to. But I think that's long enough. But let's check in with the Federation.
Yeah.
And then we'll get started, man. Yeah?
Yes.
Sound good?
Definitely.
All right, guys. Welcome to the show. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. And hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Welcome. It's the Fallen Fett Chronicles starring me. And tonight's guest is Marco, Darth Moocher.
Hello.
We're going to get into some 3D printing stuff and that whole world. So go tell your friends. Go check it out. And right there where it says say something, say hello, what's up, whatever it may be. You are now part of the Federation, the Fallen, the Fett work. I love it all, man.
Love
I do.
All.
So let's check in and see who's here. We got the Toy Box of Doom, the One Fist, Nick's Figs, Mike Arizona Toy Hunters Guild. What's up? Captain McKay. Thank you, Captain McKay, for always being here. Go check out his stuff. I'm always so excited to see it. He's doing a lot of the stop motion stuff. He's been doing that for a while, and he's got really cool videos out there.
Awesome.
So that's Captain McKay. The Wrestling Hound. Woo! What's up, Wrestling Hound? Thank you for being here. Darth Gutierrez. What's up? Santo1414. Scott Solo's in the house. Loki. Dang, that fine ass chick's here. Evil Diva. What up, girl? How you doing? Dude, she keeps texting me, bro. I'll get into that later.
Might have to, exactly.
Yeah, I got to answer her back, you know. K-Kaz is in the house. What's up, K-Kaz? Mobile Recluse. See, there he is. Chicken Burger Disco. Thank you, man, very much. Dragon Eye 69. Leave my toys alone. RMD is here. Matt Logic. KJ is in the house. We got Kurt K. Thank you for being here. Ryan, Donald. Lots of new names, man. This is exciting and amazing. Omar. We got who else? Machu Toy. What's up? Marcus Yee's here. Toy Migo's in the house. What's up, guys? Thank you for being here. Living La Vida Yoko. What's up, Yoko? Thank you for joining on Twitch. God, I always forget that. I have Twitch too. So I do the whole double thing. So I'm going to be doing, all the time double. So if you prefer Twitch or that's easier for you to watch on, I am on Twitch. I just need to learn it more.
Right.
We got Lucky Butter, Omega Weapon 13, and there's Mikey right there.
Hey.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I already have him working on something else.
That's awesome.
It was like, he asked and I'm all, boom. Come on now. Let's do this.
Put him to work, man. Put him to work. He loves it. Yeah.
Let's see who else is here. Yeah. Yoko, the Fett work. See, that's what Scott said.
I think that's it. I think that's got to be it.
Well, I like that as far as, like I said, I've wanted to continue this on everything. I've done so many shows before and they all meld into each other. Now we got this big old network of family going on.
Absolutely.
What's up, Fett work? I like it. Oh, we got Paul here. Bitter Asian Ink. Hey, brother, I'm in between setups on Avatar. Just wanted to drop and say, see, look, I need to remember to put it up.
Yeah, exactly.
I keep forgetting that.
It's okay.
Just want to drop in and say, I love you. I love you, Paul, man. And your cut. Dude,
you
said I was clear for today.
After
you
today.
Sent a message this morning. Yeah, for reals. So that's cool. He's out there shooting Avatar. Hope you don't have one of those long days, Paul. Thank you for stopping in. Let's see. Yeah, see, Fett work.
Yeah.
I like that. Not
I
network, Fett work. Who else we got here? Oh, 1-6 Shooters here. What's up? And who else? Let's see. I think that's it. I got everybody.
Got a full house, man.
Yeah, obviously. So this is Captain McKay. I appreciate the kind words about my stop motion stuff, man. All the time. We all have our own ways of enjoying the fig hobby. Glad you like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's
100%.
Perfect of what we're going to get into now.
Yeah.
So we've both been collectors. We've hooked up with each other through Star Wars.
Yeah.
Our kids were at the same thing.
Yeah.
Always seen each other. I always used to see you guys in line. Piss me off. You're always there first. And then it just happened to be a time where then we all finally joined forces.
Right.
And we got everything together, and the Sarlacc Digest was created.
Correct.
And we've been doing that for a while now.
5 years now. Yeah.
Yeah. We just had our anniversary.
Yeah.
So within that time, though, you have grown, and now you've even started a whole new venture with Tashi Station Emporium.
A whole new business. Yeah.
And so let's get into that. Like,
sure, man.
Like, how did that even come about at first?
So
your first one.
My first collecting, or
your first printer.
Oh
no, you can get into your collection too.
Well, no, I mean, well, so I like I said, I've mentioned this is my second collection behind me, and it's a little, it's not like as colorful as your guys and stuff, but I'm trying. I'm working on it. The guys got me as a birthday gift, a Darth Vader, the 40th anniversary Black Series Darth Vader, and I didn't have any figures at that. I had a few things that I have kept from my first collection, and I had it on the shelf, and then I was like, okay, that's it. I'm off the wagon. I think it took like a month, and it grew to like, epic proportions. I was always against stands, right? Like, figure stands. I think they look better on the shelf, just as they are. I'm an open box collector and all that stuff. And every single day they'd be on the floor. And no matter what, just if it heats up, the summertime, plastic warms up, all that stuff, and loose joints, all that stuff. I started learning about custom figs and what other people are doing. And I started buying stands on eBay and stuff, and nothing worked. I would get the ones that were big circles, and it would just take up so much space. And I was into 3D printing at the time and never even thought about it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try to do something. I measured out to, with calipers, the peg holes and everything, had a lot of prototypes, found out the one that's working, and it's, the basic, circles, design for stability and whatnot, and also to not lose shelf space. And it just kind of worked for me. And one day I was converted my entire collection over to that. And I was like, you know what? These are working really well. Let me try to put up on eBay. As kind of like, let's just see what happens, right?
Right, exactly.
3 hours later, I had sold, and I put them in packs of 10. I had sold like 3 packs, 4 packs, that day. And I was like, well, okay. Now I was nervous. Like, okay, now people are going to get these. I'm shipping these out.
Yeah.
And now I was like, okay, are they going to like them? Are they going to find flaws? Are they going to say they suck? All these things, and I didn't really think about a business. I just like throwing it out there to see if I can, make something happen. And fast forward a whole year, I've sold over 60,000, 70,000 stands at this point. On eBay, I have my own website. I've dialed in the stand, like everything from like the peg sizes to 2 different peg sizes to different variations. And they are all working. I come home now and it's so great. None of my toys are on the floor. So that's how I got into the action figure. I call it like the action figure beautification, right? Like taking your collection to another level with, like you're seeing here with the blood stands, the centerpiece stand, like the Darth Vader one, and the walls and everything. Starting to get into accessories and all that stuff, is you're looking at your collection and want it to be something bigger, something
correct,
better. Everybody takes pride in their collections, and I was really getting into the YouTube videos of watching people do dioramas and accessories, and fall in love with that process. Just a display on a shelf of an alley and brick and these guys were just amazing at it. I can come up with a list of people that I follow and stuff, and the RLU helped me find a lot of that stuff too. And thank you, Scott, very much. Yeah, Scott was my test dummy. I go, here's a bunch of pegs, see if they work, and please be honest, and so far, they're working. I started thinking like how to get your collection into a more of just a static display pose, right? Like
okay,
it's not boring, but again, like, a lot of people like to pose their action figures and action poses and have stability and whatnot. And I think I figured that out, with a lot of the figures. Like, for example, like Wolverine here, you can keep him in this pose, and not worry about him falling over, until you tip them over yourself. But you don't lose any shelf space. You could put figures next to them and all that stuff, and it's just something that I was really into, and I think that was my mission statement moving forward. Like, I don't want people to lose, have to double their rooms up because they're already elaborate as it is. I want the shelf space, but I want stability. I want these things to work. I want the double pegs to work. And it kind of snowballed into it. Anyway, that's like the long story, made sure, of how I got into the Tashi station using my 3D printing knowledge moving forward on that.
And which was awesome because you literally just started with one printer.
Yes.
One small printer. And I remember that project. Do you want to show that project? Because I still love it.
Yeah. So I started with a little 6x6x6 3D printer, and it was a hobbyist, just like a hobby thing. I created this off of that. Okay.
Oh,
this is my Shore Trooper bucket. I did
all
not
3D printed.
All 3D printed from that small printer, all glued together. Liquid resin inside for stability, all painted.
Let me get you up there.
Yeah. So here it's kind of hard, but I was very proud of myself doing this, painting it myself, and thinking like, okay, this is the cosplay that I need, right? This is the stuff. I didn't design this file. I downloaded off a file that was given permission to say, hey, you can print this, you can do whatever you want with them, just don't sell the files, right? And there's a lot of out there, and there's a lot of websites out there that have free 3D printing files that all that. So,
and all you need to do is add the visor, which you've had for quite a while.
I have it. I just have to. It's so funny because like I think I initially got into 3D printing to do cosplay for the stuff like this, but getting into it, you start to discover it's like, this in the sunlight, this in 90 to 100 degree weather would probably fail because just the type of plastic that I used.
Yeah.
I'd say if you're still into cosplay and stuff, still go the resin route. The people who do it like Outer Rim Armory, like how he does it. This would work, but like indoors, if I drop this, it'll shatter.
Yeah.
So it's more of a display piece.
What I think is cool, speaking of display piece, is like you're saying, you did all that yourself.
Yeah.
And put it there. And like Paul uses all of his DTOF case and he puts a bucket inside and then he'll put the Shore Trooper Hot Toys next to it. So that's his display. So like you're saying, to make yourself a display piece like that is amazing. I mean, it's wearable. We've all put it on.
Yeah, we've all put it on. It's totally wearable, like I said. And I did the research, even the paint that the Rogue One used. This is the real paint that they use, Lucasfilm paint. Everything. This helmet is 501st approved, so they went and screen tested the whole thing, right? So I consider myself, I have a Shore Trooper bucket, and I actually have the plans for the entire cosplay, but I think that this is where this draws a line as far as the 3D printing. Now to prototype it and do all of the resin casting and stuff, that's a whole different world, right?
Yeah.
But it's a tool. It's one of those things on why I got into 3D printing in the first place was to do stuff like this as props, building props, all that.
Right. You started an R2 build with it too, an R2D2 build.
I was in, again, before 3D printing too, going into websites and all that stuff. I found the astromech.net forums. Everybody that, if you ever been to Star Wars Celebration, or even, in fact, the ones who built the R2 unit for the sequels, were those guys, were the astromech.net. They built that R2 unit because it was better than, Lucasfilm was like, it's better than what we can do. Well, let's use you guys. So they have a forum that you join, and the free plans and free 3D printing plans too. And I don't think I have any pictures, but like right here, I have YouTube, a couple of videos on our Starlight Digest YouTube channel that I've kind of tried to do a video build on it and everything, but it's a lifetime dream of having an R2 unit into your house, right? And I'm done printing on it. I just have to put the mechanics, paint it, sand it, and all that stuff.
Right.
But that's another reason why.
Another venture that you took to go.
Yeah, and I bought another printer for that, a bigger printer.
Right. So just like collecting, you're growing. Yeah. And then you started getting more printers. And because a lot of people are into this printing thing now. And so that's why I wanted to get into this subject, because a lot of people see it out there and, can I do that? From weapons to, head sculpts, everything like that I can do this too. And it is a lot out there, and it is something that you definitely get into. So with
there's
you started adding printers, right?
yeah. I what just curtail on what you just said is that there is a learning curve to 3D printing, but
Okay.
I encourage anybody. I'm like, if I can learn it, anybody can learn it. It's like it's just a language. You learn how to do it.
Yeah.
And like I said, yes, I am designing stuff now, but I also went to school for that. You know what I mean? I went to school for 3D design and all that stuff. But it's not impossible for you to learn it. Watch some YouTube videos. That's what it's for. Get a 3D printer. They're kind of expensive, but it's worth it. It's life changing. It'll make you look at everything completely different. But yeah. So I just bought my 10th printer today. my 10th.
So you're up to 10 now. That was going to be my next question. So from 1 to 10 now.
Yeah.
But okay, so there's different types of printers, right?
Yeah.
So what was the one that you started with?
So this is your traditional, the one I like that with the helmet and everything.
Yes.
Is your same things I do the stands on are traditional FDM printers where it takes the plastic, melts it, and then reapplies it in layers. And as soon as it hits the surface, it hardens.
So somebody knows when you purchase a printer, it just doesn't automatically start printing stuff.
No,
you have to buy
you got to buy
the plastic itself.
The filament.
Okay.
Which I should have a roll here somewhere, but I don't. But yeah, it comes in a big spiral, like cable. Like a whole thousands of feet of this little thin filament. It feeds into the printer, melts it, and then it does its design. There's a slicer program that you use. It sends the language over to the printer, and it builds your prints. There's that type, and that's, again, if anybody says 3D printer, that is your typical 3D printer. Everybody, where the household name for it is FDM printer. And then you have resin printers that can do stuff like miniatures. This is a liquid that was cured in UV light.
So is that your newest one you got?
I have 3 of these now. So I bought a bigger one. Yeah. So and I got into this stuff for gaming, tabletop gaming. Yeah,
because you do games as well too, right?
Yeah.
And so you could use that for your gaming now too, right? For making all of your stuff.
Yeah. So so you put a comment on the screen right there. Paint.
Yeah, CBD want to know, what is paint type called?
You talk about what I use for the. You talk about what I use for the Sword Trooper helmet.
Because hit me back up, CBD.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll grab that information and get that to him, because you buy it at. In fact, Michael sells that exact rattle can that I use for that paint. So it is readily available. Like, you can go buy it right now if you wanted to. And it is the exact. And again, from the guys who did the movies to the 501st, they are like these. They confirmed this is the paint they used. So I'll get that information for you.
Yeah, because I know a lot of cosplayers have gotten into the 3D printing world just to make their accessories.
Yeah.
From weapons,
the guns,
to
the
some
weapons.
of the gear.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Which is all there. And now you're up to 10. This is the newest one. And so did you get that for a specific reason? Like, I know you game. You do those. What are those games called? When I say you game.
Well, they're role play games. They're tabletop role play, Dungeons and Dragons, X-Wing, stuff like that. You make miniatures, you make scatter terrain, you make mountains, you do all kinds of stuff. The resin printers are great for fine detail miniatures. I also got it for accessories to add to the Tashi Station Emporium stuff too. And like I said, there's a lot of third-party stuff out there, and I love them all. And I just want to do my version of it, like cups and plates and ladders and benches and all these things that's out there now. Like I said, I just want to model my own version of it and put together like sceneries and stuff. And I think it's fantastic. But for the most part, I had my first 2 resin printers were to make stuff like tabletop dragons. One of my favorite things. And again, I didn't model these. This was a subscription that I subscribed to, but look at that. I mean, this is not finished. I still have to do the arm, but I mean, try to focus that. But that's the level of detail 3D printing has come into. I mean, this is like professional grade store-bought models, and this is resin. It's pretty heavy. You paint these and you play with this, or I like to also just print them out and display them on a shelf too, because they look awesome. I mean, dragons and demons and all that stuff. It's just awesome. So that's the other form of printer that I'm into also. But I'm also going to utilize, like I said, it always goes from like hobby to like, what else can it enhance my collection? My action figure collection too.
Right. Well, which is your big thing on Toshi Station right now. And so I see you have something behind you over there. And yeah. Can we let me put you back up again.
Like what morphed into from the stands, what morphed into light walls, Again, everything's Star Wars at first because I'm a Star Wars fan. My major collection is Star Wars. So I designed these light walls, Star Wars inspired. They have the pegs so the figure fits on there really nice to enhance your display. And I made 2 of them, 2 different variations, and they just kind of sit together modular wise. Some people have added magnets or whatnot, and you could put this on a whole shelf. They're thin enough to put on a whole shelf to make a display, a Death Star escape display, or just in general like this, like a standalone. If you just wanted one figure on there, it works. This is like I said, another evolution of the stands, not just a plain stand, but like, say, I know a couple people that only have like 10 figures, right? Well, this is something cool that they can make a nice display. Like they only collect Imperials, they only collect Star Wars or whatever. These are fantastic for that. And I wanted to do it. Like I said, how many times have you said, when you get the walls up, let me know, right? Like the Star Wars walls, because that's it's huge.
Yeah, I want to throw a Boba Fett back there for mine because I've had to get into that now, which is great too. I mean, I have your stands all too with Joe's to Star Wars figures, but that Boba shelf that I have back there, I want to get some of those because I really want like a scene, which is great to have on the top shelf, just like you're saying. As far as more
they
show,
got pegs, and there's 3 pegs per the thing, so there's different variations. You could put 2 figures on one, you can spread them out. I'm trying to think of every angle, that to have for like an action figure stand, taking the action figure stands to another level, because again, I've done so much research on stands, and I've spent hundreds of dollars on outsourced stands, even official like NECA stands, and they just don't work. They just don't work. The figures still fall over. I lose tons of shelf space, and they're expensive, and I was like, okay, well, I have the means, I have the drive to do it. I have my own collection to experiment with, so all those pictures on my website and everything, that's all my collection. So
I'll show it again, but like you're saying, when then you switch to these, from your basic, how I have my Joes up,
right? So I label them, right? I have my like wide stance, and I have my action poses. Like you said, you get the like a wide, an action pose that'll preserve the pose on your shelf, stability, all that stuff. I have top heavy stands for like 7-inch figures, like the like the DC, but this is on the action stand. But like the DC ones, I have the ones that spread out so they won't top over, they won't fall over. I'm trying to cover every avenue, every angle. I even have got into like, themed out stands. Here's the blood stand, so you got NECA and all horror movie stuff. Even some Marvel Legends will fit these really good. Like it's bringing more atmosphere to your collection, more color, more just interesting talking points also, because 3D printing is a great talking point. So you go like, hey, my collection's on these, and these are all 3D printed, and it gets you motivated. And I'm not going to stop there either. So like a lot of things are Star Wars that I'm doing, but I'm venturing into what can fit the Marvel theme, what can fit NECA, like DC, He-Man, all those different themed stands and walls and accessories and all that. So I'm constantly coming up with stuff. It's hard to come up with it all at once because I need to make sure I know how to print it, need to make sure it comes out nice, and it's not overly expensive, So there's surprisingly so many variations out there that I had to accommodate for. Like Marvel Legends was one of the hardest things to the basic stands to do, because they're the footholes are different on almost every figure, bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller. So I had to do 2 different variations, and then I had to do double pegs, and then I do, all. I mean, there's just a lot of different things that I had to explore and trial and error, and people would give me feedback. That's one thing about the action figure community, especially on Instagram. The feedback is awesome. I mean, they let me know everything. These didn't fit, just letting you know, or these fit this line that you're not showing. And so I make my adjustments and I post, okay, like this was confirmed, like Power Rangers confirmed, these fit my stands. So the community's been awesome. The feedback's been awesome too.
Yeah, that's great, man. I know they work for me on a lot of stuff too, which is great. So I love it. Like I said, I want to get some of those walls in to really start expanding.
Yeah.
And go from there. But you've also yeah, I know Jurassic Jesse, what's up? He does a lot of the horror stuff too. So
Yeah.
there you go, Jesse. This is right up your alley with
And that's
those
just the start.
bloodstained ones.
That's just the start with the resin printer. I've planned on, like I said, doing, broken wood, old wood stands, and I mean, it's limitless, and so I can't wait to really get into the resin stuff that I'm going to be putting out soon.
Yeah. So here's Evil Diva. She knows I've been cussing many a times just to get my picture on the 78 points of articulation Tatooine diorama that I have for certain pics, and I've had to use them for that. And then a lot of people do toy photography, and you got to do these tricks in order to get them so they don't fall and everything.
Right.
I use them to set up a shot. I'll use it if I'm not going to show the feet, so then this way you could see. Or I've seen other people cover them up with the sand and everything.
Yeah.
So not only just for your stand, but they've used them for a lot.
Yeah, and that's the thought process.
Different.
It's like there's a standalone stand for a display. Like I said, that Stormtrooper, right? It's a great showcase, but it's also like I've gotten a lot. I mean, people showing me toy photography pics with those stands and making hallway scenes and making lights, because I put, I use a styrene on the back of it, so you can shine a light through it and it'll illuminate. It'll dissolve the light really well. It's not, there's people that have done lighting kits. They've done all kinds of stuff with it. So another mission statement is like, I'm trying to offer the tools so people could take them and use their imagination and really enhance, like I said, their toy photography, their displays, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I've just been going through showing a little bit off. And so, again, if you're just joining us, we're here with Marco, and he started Tashi Station Emporium, which is right here with all this really cool stuff. We show off the walls. I'll have you hold that up again, but here's like a whole setup of them.
Yeah.
Which looks great. Like I want to do. Yeah, I really want to do this one.
Yeah. I have a lot of fun.
Right? Yeah. And so this is, I just wanted to bring you on to expand, to show the growth in collecting and where we go now after we've made decisions of, I'm gonna back off just a little bit on this. And then, you start into this, like you started it just to get some builds in. And now here you are with this. And now, again, I feel you've grown because now you've added to your gaming stuff. Just start to make things for your games.
Yeah,
which is very cool too.
Utilizing the interest of creating things like the diorama builders out there, right? I've done a lot more things out of foam, like, everything before 3D printing, and 3D printing was just another tool. And again, with the second collection of action figures that I have, I've wanted to do something different this time. Like, I just don't want to just put them on a shelf and just stare, let them. And now I'm like, and another, like, once you get like a pose that you love, and I use this as an example because I love this Wolverine pose. It's his classic, squat pose, whatever. It's hard to maintain that, especially after toy photography, right? So I wanted to bring that kind of design element into, take it and put it back on your shelf, and it's awesome, right? It's a great, it's a great thing to do. Like I have, stuff like she's only on one peg right there. So like preserving those action things was very key for me. I think that was very important. this go round. Before it used to be just figure on a wall, next, open, figure on a wall, next, open, which is fine. But now I'm like trying to get a little bit more dynamic with the collecting and the posing. And so, yeah.
Correct. Which is on my shelf a huge thing. All the Star Wars ones fall all the time.
Yeah.
Like those
Like I
Black
said,
Series
every day,
figures
5 or 6
fall
figures
all
on
the
the floor.
time. Yeah.
Especially when it gets hot, right? The plastic loosens up. And it
now
was just a
they don't.
nightmare.
Now they're cool. Yeah.
NECA was a nightmare. DC Universe is a nightmare when it standalone. But now, like I said, I've stumbled across this problem solved kind of deal. You know,
Right.
every once in a while there are a few stubborn figures out there, like Skelegod from Masters of the Universe. I think I flung him across the house. I'm done with you. Like there's no hope for you because the ankle joints are too loose. Unless I make a stand this big for him, I'm not going to do that. So it's like, there are exceptions, but
yeah, no, for sure. Which is really cool and a nice dynamic that you were able to grow it into this
a lot of
new
trial and
side
error,
venture.
A lot. It wasn't a first like, oh, this is working. I had to print over, and I had to throw batches. I had to throw hundreds of stands away because something didn't work. It was snapping. It was breaking.
Right.
I had to really dial in the printers, every printer that I have, dial them in, and get the results that I like. That because, like, again, as a collector, if it's not good enough for my shelf, it's not going to be good enough for your shelf. You know what I mean? So
right, absolutely. And shout out to Customs by Machu. I love to get into 3D printing, but I just don't have the space or the time to.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I mean, so there's a lot of people that want to get into. So what's your answer to that?
If you really wanted to, like I said, the space, they don't take up that much room. You can find a corner in your house to start. That's how I did. I actually had it right next to my computer, but I had a little printer. The time there is some time invested. Like I said, there is a learning curve, but YouTube is fantastic for that. And the support from other people, trial and error. It's so like 3D printing is so dialed in today that every problem is solved out there. Or people do it for you. You know what I mean? Like there's so many resources out there. If you don't want to get into it, but you love the 3D printing, you could just find somebody that does 3D printing and have them print you files. Like I said, and there's companies that will charge you for it. Yeah, I mean, I always I'm an encourager. I'm an enabler. I'm like, go for it. I'll even help you buy your first printer. I'll tell you what printer to buy, what not to buy, what not to look for. I'm an enabler. I'll make you buy 10 printers, and I'll take up your whole bedroom, everything. Yeah.
We're gonna have to get you one of Kevin Toying Around's hat. That's what he has. His whole crew is the enabler crew.
Yeah,
making points off each other. So I'll make sure to tell them that you get points for everybody who has one here. But so like I said, Captain McKay does a lot of stop motion stuff, and he says this is really fascinating because I made a bunch of foam dioramas, but I've always been curious to incorporate 3D printed detail stuff to add and improve the whole presentation. Well, like we showed the Star Wars walls right there. Yeah. That's a definite upgrade. That's something you didn't have to cut out or paint. You 3D printed that, which looks amazing. I love those. Yeah. And then with that too, can we show your newest venture of what you've added? Talking about displays and something to the presentation.
Yeah. So speak of 3D printing, I've created the box, the Star Wars box, the crate, right? I've found a filament that you don't really get the 3D printed lines, but you can sand those off and paint them any way you want. But I've also added the feature of a workable accessory. You can put your weapons in there. You can put whatever you want in there. You can lean it against. You can make, you can stack these things. Crazy. I just didn't want just to create a bot. Now this is, like I said, I modeled this. It was easy, but I made it functional. And I want to carry this over into many stuff. So 3D printing absolutely could enhance your accessories when it comes to toy photography, dioramas, everything. So, it's all there. Foam, this would be very hard to make in foam, accurate and multiple. Like if you wanted, 10 of them in a row and stack, foam would be very hard to get the indents and all that stuff because like I said, I have everything foam cutters and all that stuff. But so right now I create it. There's one machine right here, if you guys can see. I'll throw 5 of these on, and it'll take like 4 hours to print, and I'll have 5 crates ready to go. So I'm actually ready to launch these crates, pretty soon. I just wanted to make sure I got the filament for it. I got the supplies for it. I can do them, because the worst thing is to offer them and then say, yeah, I can't print them. I always have to make sure I got enough supply. Just like the walls, I got in trouble. I only made like 20 walls when I launched, and they were gone. That first batch was gone in hours. And so I had,
I love them. They look amazing.
Yeah. And so I bought 2 more printers right on the spot to.
Nice.
And that's the whole thing. It's like, I didn't plan the growth. It's just, I had to grow, you know what I mean? Because I've already put myself out there, and I had to keep it, the momentum going on it.
Well, your next step is you might have to start a Tashi Station Emporium channel.
Yeah.
And get on there and do this, because here's Dario. I have a printer and a curer, and I've never touched them. Shaking my head.
Okay, Dario, we got to talk, because once you go into that rabbit hole, it is amazing. And so I think he's talking about, Dario, do you have a resin printer then? He's talking resin printer if he has a cure, like a UV cure. So, because that, again, that's a whole nother level. That is stuff that I'm trying to do. Like I said, the little miniatures.
Dang. Let me show that real quick.
Yeah. I wish I could focus this, like, get it. I don't know how people do it. I'm not that savvy when it comes to that stuff, but
okay. So you got to do the Toy Migos, the plastic adicto whoop. So when you put it up, you got to put your hand behind it to block it. So then it comes into focus.
There's just no contrast with these, because I haven't painted these. They're all gray. That's the resin, so it's hard to have a, I don't know. I'll get good at it one day, but resin printing is a whole different level, especially when it comes to accessories.
All right. So Marcus says, I've been wanting to get into 3D printing to learn how to make toys. I don't have the money to buy one or the skills yet to design anything. This is helpful.
Thank you.
Like you said, you started not knowing yourself either.
No, I'm the type of person that will sit on YouTube for a month before I do anything. Like, I will research the hell out of something before I even delve into it. So I made sure I had the right printer. I had to make sure the support was there, because the worst thing is to buy something and you can't get anybody on the phone. And I will tell you what, I've broken a lot of things. I've thrown away. When I started out, I don't think I got one print until a month later. That's something that I can show, right? Because it's trial and error. Okay, don't do that again. And you remember this, and it's a continuous thing, but it can be a very lucrative, it could be a very fulfilling hobby. Like I said, to me, it was life-changing in a lot more ways than just a business, because I never thought I would buy 3D printing to start a business and make money out of it. It was more of a hobby and doing stuff that I want to. So it's great, man. But it's also it can be time consuming. Space wise, you could find space for it. They're not that big. Like, you can find a little end table and make, and get it and stuff. It's depends on if you have the room. If you have a spare room, you go for it. But yeah, so Dario has a resin printer. Cool. I'll show you everything on what you need to get started on, because you got to get started on it big time.
What's up? Much love to Toy Farce is here. He's actually in the time zone right now. He can watch it. He's probably like 3 days ahead of us. So that's Toy Farce, man. Thanks for being here. I greatly appreciate it. So like Scott had said too, I love those crates. I do too, because this actually brought up a point as far as I was talking about. So everybody, what do you still hold all your accessories in? I know you said like the Star Wars guns and everything, but that can fit heads, the hands, everything. And I think that'd be a cool little display to have filled up crates for all your extra parts and everything function on one certain. And then even like maybe even write whose it is at the bottom or label them, because Andre was talking about that, the whole, get the labeler, get these, get that. And then you have those, and it seems like it's pretty cool,
Yeah, absolutely. They like I said, it's big enough where you can put the helmets, the guns, the smaller guns, of course, not the rifles and whatnot. But the extra hands, if Hasbro gave us hands, it'd be great for Star Wars. But like even Marvel stuff, I mean, like I said, I'm developing other crates other than Star Wars themed out crates. So
Okay.
there's going to be like industrial, sci-fi, horror, all this stuff. So yeah, it's great to put it right next to the figure, and it's hold all accessories, so it's with it too.
Machucha says, right? I got frustrated when I first got my resin printer and for about a week, and then I understood it. Lots of failed prints that first week.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not just going to come off right away.
No. There's there's like I said, trial and error, but you learn from every single print. The downside of it is you have to wait hours before, it's like you sit home and you pull a file from the internet, or you design something and you send it over to your printer. Well, that's, you have to wake up in the morning to find your results sometimes, right? There's a lot of these prints are hours, maybe days sometimes. And that's an expensive and time consuming lesson to learn. So I feel that, as me, I had to go through that because that's just the route I did. But there's so much support where you can minimize a lot of that failure nowadays getting into it, because you can just ask somebody, like, do I do these settings? Like, no, don't do that. Don't use this. Like the type of plastics to use too. Don't get into all, there's a ton of them, but like use PLA plastic for everything that you're doing, unless you're doing cosplay, unless you're doing functionality prints that are going to be friction. There's a lot of those kind of things. You have metal printing, you have wood printing. There's all kinds of it, but a lot of people don't know that, and they'll buy like a ABS plastic, and it'll warp on you, it'll flip, it'll break, or it just won't come out. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't have been using that. So that's an expensive lesson, because that's expensive, plus the fumes and all that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that you would have to do like a pre-checklist before getting, but you learn this stuff, and
which
you learn from other people's failures too.
Jurassic Jesse's up on it too. Him and Dario would be your first 2 subscribers, I think. So I think we may be on to something here as far as starting a help printing show or something.
Yeah. So the plan is the Tashi Station will have a YouTube channel that will not only explain, like taking like Marvel Legends, for example, and explain the different pegs to use because of the different variations and what, this is how, because I get these questions daily through eBays and Instagram and stuff like, will these fit these figures? I have to, yes, they want to have a list of figures that I confirm that they will fit. So not only is the channel going to help solve those kind of problems, but the printing problems too. Because again, I love bringing the base to people and letting their imagination flow too. So if they have a printer and they want to like add on to the stuff that I'm using, I'm so happy to be like, yeah, this is the settings that I used. This is how I printed it out. I am generous that way. Like if they want to design the same thing and print it out for them, that's fine. You know what I mean? I'll help along the way. Like I'm not that kind of person. I was like, no, you have to go through me and that's it. Because again, I'm a hobbyist also.
Right.
So the channel will have a lot of helpful stuff like that, especially in resin printing, because I'm learning too. And I, so as the stuff that I learn, I like to pass it on as well, because the more resin I'm going to get into, like those crates are the traditional 3D printing, but I'm going to get into smaller things that those can't work, for where the resin printers will shine in, because the high detailed stuff is perfect for it.
Which is great. So I'm just going through your page here, which I do have a link, you guys, down below in the description if you're interested in everything. So along with the blood ones, you have these new Exo Squad ones too.
Yeah, I worked with our mutual friend Scott, and I have a mutual friend Kevin. He's really into Exo Squad, so he contracted me to do an exclusive stand for that particular line. And it's a very niche market and stuff. So on my side, I have the only Exo Squad themed out, stands as an exclusive for his shop and mine. That's why they're on there. And so and then the centerpiece is one of those things. Again, one of my initial thoughts when I was doing this is like, as my collection was kind of small at the time, like that Darth Vader, it's like I just want that Darth Vader on a themed out stand. Like
I love these ones. Like I said, in people's DTOS or something, like this is a point.
And they're hollow, so you can put a light under it too. You can put a light underneath that.
Okay.
And because I designed it in 2 pieces.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to think of a lot of, again, so you see how, and those are just paper cutouts. You can replace it with anything you want, because it uses the dissolve. You can put a little puck light underneath that, and it'll shine the light right up on the figure. And I figure he's like, this is the kind of stuff that I want to bring to the collecting world. I think I mentioned this in the show. It's like where Hasbro won't do it, the third party will, right? The third party accessory market is amazing. Like there's so many talented people out there that do these dioramas and displays and accessories that I was afraid to even jump into it because I'm like, there's a lot out there already, but I just wanted kind of like, okay, I'm one, like I said, one of those people, like if I can do it myself, I'll do it myself,
Mm-hmm.
But in a way, 3D printing could do it because 3D printing can't get you those results like those foam dioramas can. Those are immaculate. Those are like real textures and all that stuff. 3D printing could, utilizing that with the foam could be amazing things too. Yeah. So
Jesse says he has a PLA printer. What's that one?
Well, PLA is a type of plastic, but it's the same kind of concept that which they use the FDM. It's called the FDM printer, which it uses the plastic that melts in the nozzle and then it prints out your design. So PLA is the type of plastic that I use for basically everything. Resin is a liquid that UV cures and stuff. So two different type of printers, but and two different kind of like results that you want too. But yeah, definitely getting a resin. It's another life changer. Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, Yoko is on Twitch. She's over there with Midnight 30, located right here.
Oh yeah.
And Yoko shows her on Twitch. She has a big following over there, and she says there's a healthy 3D printing community over here on Twitch.
Good to know.
Like that, like I'm saying, there's YouTube and Twitch. Yeah. So then maybe you can, do both. Like we've been trying to do here as well too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, that's good to know because I as a gamer myself, not just tabletop gaming, I always associate Twitch with live streaming, gaming,
Correct. Well, and then see, there's a different one. So Yoko's on Living La Vida Yoko right there on Twitch. She goes on Tuesday nights at 7:30, has all different stuff that she'll go over, either just chatting, opening new figs and like that. And then she has her Midnight 30, which she got into with all the Disney Plus shows. Like, you got to talk about it right after it drops. So she's on immediately after the shows. So last night's it's Moon Knight 30 right now because Moon Knight showing, and then she goes on after with all of her peeps and on there and they talk about it and go over it because sometimes you just can't hold back and you need to talk about the episode. I was on there for some of the Boba Fett stuff because either I was texting you or Paul and then I was chatting with her over there.
Yeah.
So everybody make sure you go give Yoko a follow over there on Twitch definitely. At Living La Vida Yoko. It's a lot of fun on that show at night. You got to get it off your chest, man.
Yeah.
You got to put something out there like what just happened, which I didn't see last night's episode. I got to wait. If it's Boba Fett or Star Wars, I am going to watch it at midnight. Marvel, I can wait a couple days.
Yeah.
So that's my look at it.
Yeah, definitely.
We got a match to a resin printer and also has a higher cost in consumables.
It can be. Because in the long run, like resin printing for miniatures, you can get hundreds of miniatures, not maybe hundreds, maybe 20, 30 miniatures out of a bottle of resin. The bad thing about resin is it has a shelf life too. And it can go bad, it separates. And so there is, if you don't use it, you lose it kind of deal. So there is a different mindset when it comes to resin printers. They're a lot more expensive. The consumables he's probably talking about is like the replacement parts. There's a lot more replacement parts in the resins. It's like if your screen goes out, well, that's a $100 replace. If you have to completely replace the film, the everything. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
But it's so much more rewarding too. it just is. When you see it come off the plane, you're like, oh my God, I have a machine that I went down to my local comic book store and bought, like I said, like this thing right here. It's over $100 model. If not this particular one, but a model like this for Dungeons and Dragons, for example, over $100 at like Wiz Kids or something like that. This costs me, I would say $5 in resin. And it's there's multiple pieces. This is not one print. So this is about 10 pieces glued together. So each wing was a separate piece and whatnot. But I would say about $5 worth of resin, about 3 or 4 days of printing.
So are you constantly running all of your printers all day?
No. I have, because of the business, I have about 6 of my FDM, my PLA printers running full 24/7. Yeah. But
That's what I'm here for all
yeah,
promos. Just hit me
exactly.
up.
My resin printers, I don't, because I'm doing more designing right now for those. And I do a couple contractual jobs for other people, like a print made to order kind of stuff. So those are running, but not 24/7.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, the resin printers over FDM is the quality. It's almost like zero sanding involved. It's you take it, you primer it, you paint it. I mean, it is awesome.
Yeah, which is very cool.
Yeah.
So,
So FDM
the
printers,
hard part now, I think, is you have all those. That's cool. And now that you're doing these extras, have you thought about expanding like into different stuff? Because like the GI Joe team just talked about more Joes that are coming out.
Yeah.
And I would love some type of Joe stuff. Now that's hard as far as the third party stuff, because you couldn't be able to put like a Cobra label on that crate, right?
Copyright's hard.
Right.
I know people do it, but that's one thing. Okay, so as far as copyright, like these are very recognizable as Star Wars walls, correct?
Okay.
But
yeah.
I've changed. This is you can't find this exact design in Star Wars. I designed it because it's like, and I call it sci-fi inspired or Star Wars inspired walls to try to get around those copyright things. I really didn't want to create like the Imperial logo or the Cobra logo and do stuff like that, and sell it and then get shut down.
Yeah.
So that's a gray area or an area that's dangerous.
So see, Machuto says Ernie needs a ding sound for when he does a plug for someone else and smiles at the camera. Okay, now look, this is why I've always been in the passenger seat, because I can do that on all the other shows.
He does.
I can do all my little sound effects for my phone and everything. Yeah. Now, see, I need to get that income coming in so that this way then I can get those extra. I want a Stream Deck so I can do all those.
Yeah.
And like that. I definitely need a second screen so I'm not getting all zoned out on just I have one screen.
Yeah.
Chat Migos already hooked me up with the new camera, so that's cool. It's not a toying around camera, but it's still a good camera.
You also need 1,000. You need 1,000 subs.
Look how fast I can show something too, Kev.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm just starting and I'm growing, but you know what, Machutoy, I will get there. That's a goal. For sure.
Just look for the subliminal messages Ernie gives. That's the key to PayPal him, and that's the key he's given back.
Yeah, no. So that's what I'm here for. And like this, we're in episode 5. I've thrown nothing but everybody who I'm comfortable with on, but I want to expand this and to show how we've grown as collectors. I mean, we've all been doing this for so long. Like you said, you're into collecting your second round, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so what was first for you?
My first round,
as far as collecting, you were just collecting.
Oh, my first round of collecting was the typical. I would go to store and buy 2 of everything, 1 mint in box to hang on the wall and 1 to open, and I would have, everything. I was a completionist when it came to collecting. Also, it was like I had to buy it, and I went to every single Toys R Us, Walmart, KB's, everything you name it. I was there, out of state sometimes, and making weekends out of it. And that was an obsession, and you find the wave, and it was like, I need the next wave. And I would buy all the magazines, all the prints, and these are coming. There was no pre-orders back in the day. It was just finding them in the wild, trading, or, find someone else found them for you. So my first collection was strictly Star Wars at the time, just strictly 3 3/4 Star Wars. There was no 6-inch figures available. Besides Marvel, I think at the time, I'm not even sure if Marvel was around then, like figure wise. But I basically, what I did is I had a room dedicated to my collection. I mean, it was wall to wall vehicles, everything, but more mint in box than anything. I sold 90% of it to start my screen printing business. I was like, okay, I'm going to take that money. And I think it was after like Star Wars episode 2 or 3, I stopped. I was like, I'm done. And for the obvious reasons, a lot of people quit. It's just the variations, repaints, reissues, all that stuff. And I was like, I'm done. I think I'm done. Kept what I wanted to keep, sold everything, started a business. The second round was a happy accident. It was like I said, I got flung off the wagon. You guys gave me the Darth Vader, and I was like, I saw in one of the Star Wars Insiders that a 6-inch version of Star Wars is coming out called the Black Series, right? And I said they're gonna have Princess Leia, Slave Leia. They're gonna have Boba Fett, Darth Maul is like the first wave. And I was like, okay, I might start collecting these when they come out. When I found them in the store, I found Leia, and she was the ugliest figure I've seen. I was like, this is horrible. Like the sculpt is bad. And I put it back. I was like, I'm not collecting these because they're horrible. And I didn't know that Leia right now is like $200, right? But and not until you guys got me that, then I started the second collection. I figured the second collection. The reason why, and not just because of the stands, is why I have all these Marvel and G.I. Joe and all the other things, is because the times have changed in collecting where, like Scott can contest this too. It's like you start looking to other lines because you can't find like Black Series. You know what I mean? Or they're too far in between. So you start going, oh, I'll pick up NECA. Oh, I'll pick up Marvel. So now I've got all these lines of figures that I'm collecting, but at the same time, I'm actually like collecting them for research. You know, I say research, but
for research.
Yeah, for
in
research. So like I have an Instagram channel where I like I said, like I just got Lobo here, right? Put him on a stand. He works. I take a picture. I throw it up and let everybody know that, you know, DC Universe multiverse toys are perfect on these stands. They fit, they work. And so twofold. And then I put them on my shelf, you know. So I'm into the collecting world big time. But also, you know, trying to, like, again, just twofold. There's the business aspect and there's also the beautification of your collection this time around too. So the difference is I'm actually paying more attention to my collection, not just a tack in the wall and a figure on the shelf that they fall over every day. Now I'm really trying to concentrate like on the displaying, like you said, like how Paul does with the details, right? Yes. So I have all these details behind me and I'm continuously trying to, I haven't even put lights on them. I don't even have these walls on my own collection. Because I can't.
You don't have any of those in
I
there?
don't have any of them because I can't. I've tried and then I have to take them and sell them because I can't, you know. So that's the reason why 2 more printers come and 2 more printers. And, you know, and when you were talking about like expanding on the thematic stands and walls to different lines, like Scott said on here, in the comments, you know, a wooden crate for G.I. Joe. Like that's the stuff that I would be inclined to make on my shop for like G.I. Joe line, a military line of walls, you know, like sandbags and crates and stuff. So where around your G.I. Joe collection, your classified, you have all the stuff that you would think like Hasbro would provide you, but these are third party. Maybe I can give away the Cobra logo that you can attach to it. You know, there's stuff to get around that
too. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, as a giveaway, as a thank you. Now it's gonna be my thought too. Is I've been thinking Joe crates and like that too, and that was my thing. But the stickers are available out there to get. Yeah. So I get if you're giving it away for free. You know,
I don't know how that works. Too. So until I get that letter to stop. You know, so you know, because again, I wanted the banners.
Maybe you just start throwing it in.
Yeah. So maybe I just say you get, or just a nice surprise when you have the Joe logo and the Cobra logo, just thrown in there, and you can.
There you go. Chamba says free decals.
Free decals, absolutely. Yeah. Like that's the way to get. I feel to get around it because you know, you kind of want to make it your own, originally, but you also don't want to get in trouble.
Correct. And that's what I'm saying. Free decals is cool. So Jesse says, DC's got you covered with stands. I got to say that too. They aren't as good as blood stands though. Got to get some of those, Jesse.
Yeah.
But I agree with Scott because those are the round circle and they get in the way. I can't pit figures close to each other in my lack of space here.
Also,
and with those stands, with your stands, I can.
Yeah. Also, so you see how spread out Lobo's feet are? Well,
let me show them real quick.
So Lobo's feet, their stands only come to like right in the middle. So one foot's always going to be off, and that's fine, right? So these figures, like I said, unless you just have them as a straight, you know, pose. The McFarlane stands, and I'm glad that they come with them. They don't always function well because sometimes they don't allow you to get those dynamic poses and keep a stability to it. So that's why, yeah. But I'm glad they come with them because.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't like the big circle ones.
Yeah,
I like
it
yours
takes up shelf
because
space.
It allows room.
Yep. Yeah.
So Hasbro just had the Joe team on, and they showed off their new stuff. And this is why, like, I know you got your space walls and your space stuff, but I agree with Scott because we both collect this stuff. Like, I've
Yeah.
gotten heavy into classified.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I was excited about this last stream. And we've
Yeah.
got Crimson Guards coming. I'm
Look at
definitely
that.
going to
Yeah.
need more stands
Dusty.
from you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Dusty. And so all I can think about is that too is, okay, so my collection has grown a lot on this. I agree with the crate things. I like Chamba's idea of free stickers. Maybe there is a way to get around it. I mean, because, dude,
Sure.
we're getting Zorana.
I
Like,
know.
I know I pre-ordered all these. Have you gotten to the classified stuff?
Oh, yeah. I have every single classified figure that's available on. Here's a bat right here. I've got 3 of them. You know, I've gotten into every classified, even the repaints. I bought them all. I've got all of them. I've got every Cobra Commander. I got every Duke, every Scarlet, Roadblock, everything. Yeah, I've pre-ordered all of these. I even have pre-orders waiting to come in too. So, yeah.
Well, did you get your Target pre-orders in?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, I got them. Yeah,
Bazooka. Good. See, look at all his accessories. See, we're gonna need crates, Marco.
Yeah. See, that it's perfect, right? You put them in this thing, and it's like you don't have to file them. But they're right there next to your figures. Environmental stuff, like you were talking about. You see how it's like a jungle theme, a rock theme, frost base. That is something I'm going to get into, but the traditional 3D printing does not, the texturing and stuff without a lot of sanding doesn't work. So that's why the resin printers are going to come to play, where you get especially like in the horror, in the NECA universe, where it has like almost like a Jason, Friday the 13th, platform with rickety wood and stuff like that, or a broiler room for Freddy Krueger, kind of stuff like that. That's the stuff I really want to get into.
Ooh, a broiler room. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, a dojo, right? A ninja thing where all his accessories. Storm Shadow back in the day, back when we were kids, remember how many accessories he came with? Like the nunchucks, the daggers, the swords. There were so many accessories that he had all these slots.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping this Stormtrooper has also. But yeah, a nice, what the Snake Eyes Comic-Con version did, or the exclusive did, had the rack with all the weapons behind it. That's the kind of stuff I want to come up with too, with accessory stands. Where you can put all the swords in and everything.
Well, here's my thing. The stands, yes. So like the crates, or if you come up with something.
Yeah.
But when I saw this, like, I'm already still so pissed off. Adam has the first version. I still don't even have this version of Storm Shadow. And now we're going to get this retro carded one. So my thought is, because of your space walls, like I know you're saying the dojo setup, maybe like a dojo floor, but how you have the space walls, and because it's not very noticeable, do you think we could get the like Arashi Kage in the background?
Oh yeah,
so we can get Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Do you get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So you got the Stormtrooper on your wall behind you, right?
Yeah.
But having an Arashi Kage symbol,
yeah,
behind
I'm
them,
with you.
Like, dude, I think that would be.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
I think
because
that's
all
cool.
I could think. I saw this one, and I'm like,
and then you can light it up from the back.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, okay, I have my Boba Fett shelf, but I'm gonna have a Storm Shadow one now.
Yeah,
I mean, we're getting classic Zartan back, which is
I'm sure I can get away with that. I don't think. I mean, it's just lines, right?
Yeah.
So that was my thought. Yeah.
And now the only other thing is for Joe's, that's really hard because that is a symbol. Right. I don't know, maybe some type of American flag thing. I'm just throwing ideas out there.
Oh well, I've G.I. Joe always has the slanted star. We can do that, right?
Oh,
as
okay.
As the Joe symbol, like the Joe above the eye, right? The star above the eye. It's slanted, and you can pull that and make stands off that, or a background or stuff like that. I mean, there's ways around it, right? So I like where your head is at, though. I mean, that's
what I'm saying, because like I've gone into classified heavier. I buy it even more than the Black Series stuff now.
Well, let me throw something at you.
Yeah.
Let me throw something at you. You know the traditional flame behind, like the traditional artwork for G.I. Joes, the flame, starburst or burst. Yeah.
The burst?
Yeah. So I don't have one to show you, but I do have it designed and ready to print out. A stand with the burst that's free floating behind the figure.
Oh, I freaking love it.
That has a peg, so you can stand the figure with pegs, the stability, and then the burst behind it floating, though, not attached to a wall, not just 2D. I'm talking floating.
See, so right here is if I had my little stream deck, I would throw in the Cobra Commander.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So I mentioned that to Scott too about the burst too, and I think I have it worked out. I know how to do it. It's
Oh.
just freeing up the printers for prototyping and doing it that way. And I think that would be awesome because then you can mimic the old school packaging, right? So
Well, yeah. Well,
that,
and again, all I'm thinking again now is Storm Shadow. Like, oh, that'd be
yeah,
sick. Yeah.
yeah. I mean
Because
that,
then
yeah,
the way
yeah.
that they come articulated now, you can definitely get them in those poses
Oh yeah, yeah,
to have the
yeah.
burst behind it
And
and
I want
look
to
like the
give,
card art.
yeah, I want to give enough depth and peg
Okay.
variation so you can have static poses, action poses on that same stand. Like I said, with the walls now, that I come 3 different peg options, like for like 2 figures, one spread out, one static, and so I'm trying to think of a lot of those things. And again, this is not just me; it's the community feedback too. So a lot
Okay.
of people will get these stuff and tell me, look, yeah, maybe you should do this, and yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's do this. Like the double peg feature, not something that I even thought about until someone told me, said, you should do a double peg for. I go, oh my god, that makes so much sense because all my figures now are on double pegs and they're like, I mean, they're so stable, it's not even funny, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It just works so
Yeah.
much better, especially in even a static pose. It's just something I go, wow, something's that simple that
Yeah.
was suggested to me, and I made that change, and I've oversold those like crazy. You just, those little things, you just listen to the community. Hey, Hasbro, listen to community. So
Yeah.
but yeah. So there's a lot of things floating around.
Okay. So I like the burst.
Yeah.
Crates with free stickers.
Yes.
A Rashikage because, dude,
Yes.
I got to get this ninja set. We're getting
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
female ninja,
Yeah.
and this is going to be a 2-pack. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
With the masks, look at those masks.
yeah, I love that. Let's see. Marco listens to
Yeah.
feedback,
Thank you, Scott.
unlike the Black Series team.
Yeah.
Yes. So I would love the Rashikage like this, or man, if you came up with some type of little dojo scene.
Yeah.
I got so many ninjas of everything, like from the Marvel Legends ninjas to
Yeah.
these new classified ninjas. That'd be sick too.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it, man, for you to start expanding and getting
Oh
into
yeah, it's
all
definitely
this other stuff.
I have a whole, like I said, it's so funny. Like I said, I have so many things designed, right? But it's that how do I get it on the printer? How do I make it function? How do I print it cheap enough and fast enough? Because just because I could do it, it's a one-off. I don't want to offer it if I can't produce it. If I can't, you know what I mean? So those, like I have the Emperor's Throne Room modeled, okay, in my computer, and I
Okay.
have printed out something, but it's the entire floor. It's the window with the computer monitors, everything, and it's
For
that thing.
Black
It's like,
Series scale?
yeah, Black Series
Oh.
scale. And what did Hasbro do? They gave us the chair. So
Yes.
boom, right?
Yeah.
I have that whole thing modeled in my computer that I modeled. I didn't download it. I didn't, pay
Yeah.
anybody. I did it, and it's
Oh,
screen accurate
sick.
as possible because I am a stickler for screen accuracy. I mean, I love to have it to where it's like, besides taking some liberties on these walls that like, oh, these are my version of Star Wars walls. But I mean,
Oh,
the pattern
here's,
is identifiable. That is the Star Wars pattern. I'm
here
not
we
gonna.
go. Here,
Yeah.
we have another one.
Yeah,
Give me
exactly.
a log cabin wall for the
Yeah.
Jasons. That's up your alley.
I have NECA horror. I love, like, I'm a horror fan like crazy, right? So the reason why I did the blood stands was, for NECA.
Yeah.
Here's Leatherface right here. So I have them all on on the blood stands. They look awesome, especially in toy photography. The blood stands look really cool too. And but yeah, those, like I said, within this computer, I have so many design things ready to prototype and go. It might seem biased that I do Star Wars first. It's because it's actually easier. It's actually easier. Star Wars is actually easier because there's so many, reference stuff to do and change, and there's a huge market for it. So, and but I didn't want to keep it like just Star Wars. I want, like, here's Star Wars inspired. Here's military, which will go with the GI Joe. Here's, like I said, the dojo themed stuff for all kinds of stuff. What was those ninjas that you guys bought, right? From it just fits. Thematic stands make sense to me to have, and something also to where I can design something for you. And if you have a creative sense and like painting and sanding, and if you want to take it, like I said, I have people sending me photos of the walls that they've bought, and they've added magnets and they've added lighting kits and they've added all kinds of stuff that I was like, are those my walls? Really? Like wow, you
that's
guys,
awesome. Right.
and they put that hobbyist in them, and they repainted them and they resanded. I mean, everything. So I love that. I encourage that. So I know I've been toying all around with like a base version of something and then a painted version of something. Like for example, here's the base version of this crate, and then here's the damaged with painted and glossy and all that stuff as a premium version, because I like to do that stuff too. But I like to do it for myself, you know what I mean? So it's the base tools for other people's imaginations on their own collection.
Right.
But I want to provide as many accessories and as many options, as many themes that's available now. And then basically taking a snapshot of our toy collecting, what's available now, and say this is the stuff that I could design around.
Right.
With Scott helps me a lot with, because he has a lot of vintage stuff. I mean, from Transformers to Masks to G.I. Joe. So I can look at his stuff too. 3 3/4 is harder to design for in a third party because there's a lot, like Hasbro, they do a lot for 3 3/4. It's the 6-inch versions that I'm trying to always, come up with. But yeah, he helps me a lot to see what's out there, and like, okay, design vintage stands for Star Wars 3 3/4, or vintage stands for, original G.I. Joe or Mask, or even figures that don't have pegs, the foot slot figures.
Yes.
Yeah. I trying to be that one stop, where I cover all avenues, but also like I said, the diorama stands, the action stands, something different, something that's not available out there.
Yeah. Well, so far so good, man. I hope that we continue to see you grow. Thank you. That it does keep going, and all these ideas thrown, from more stuff to sell to even starting that page to help everybody out.
Absolutely.
In the world, as far as getting out there. So that'd be cool, because a lot of people are into it now. And like we said, everybody grows in their collection and what they want to do. So people from doing this to adding to it, to getting props, to cosplay, to everything. It was awesome, man. So
cool.
Sure. Thank you so much for being here. Again, you guys, Tashi Station Emporium. It's down there in the description, or send me a DM if you need the link, or Darth Moocher on Instagram as well. Tashi Station Emporium is on Instagram. I put it up there on my stories as well. And then, like I said, the link is down there. So awesome. I greatly appreciate it, man.
Dude,
anything else before we head out? Anything else you wanted to hit?
Well, before I just wanted to say thank you. I love talking shop. I know I probably ramble a lot more than anything.
But that's why everybody has questions about it. And that's what I wanted to do. Like, this is, an expansion of stuff.
Yeah, like, absolutely.
I've never got into your gaming stuff that you do, your RPG stuff.
And
that's cool. I didn't know that you were using your printers to expand on
that's
that
how
level.
I started with them. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Like, that's cool. I know Evil Diva wants to see about what she has to get and everything too, to make her ear business grow, to do different, because everybody's doing something out there with it, And so if this helps somebody get started, like you said, no downplay or anything. If you can do it,
it's
anybody
true.
can do it.
True, because it's something that I didn't go to school for. It's something that YouTube taught me, and through trial and error, I'm a big proponent of you fall down to learn how to get back up. That's been my philosophy in life on every level. You know what I mean? This is my second helmet I printed, or third helmet that I printed that was actually a success. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay, but I have one now and I learned a lot more. So if I go and print another one, it's cookie cutter. So I like that. I love talking shop. I love that if I had advice that I've learned I can give around and like just talk 3D printing. I think it's one of those things where I would love for every household to have a 3D printer. I think it's perfect. I even use it honestly for household stuff. This is a headphone holder for IKEA tables. So I have IKEA tables and it fits the IKEA table, and I put my headphones on there. So you use it for household items too. It's not just for cosplay and models, so it's just fun to do. And yeah, that channel will be coming. I'm working out all of the details, and I want to launch it with content. I want to launch it with stuff that people can get into and just kind of grow, like I said, the third party accessories, stands, everything that beautifies your collection. I'm in. I'm full on board. So
you'll be added to the Fett work.
Yes,
we'll keep that going.
Yes.
So then somebody else, I can direct them over there to you. But so anybody who doesn't know, where can they find you, and what else do you got going? What else are you a part of?
Yeah, so Tashi Station Emporium. You can Google on Instagram. You can find myself on Instagram. I just post, drawings and other 3D printing stuff that I do, but also Starlight Digest Star Wars podcast, which was coming up here at 8 o'clock tonight on YouTube. So I'm, good, huge Star Wars fan, of course, and I do that show with Ernie, with the Mr. Fett here himself, and Scott Solo in the chat. But we're going to break down Star Wars like no one else does. That's where you'll get your news, rumors, everything. So with that, with the gaming, with the 3D printing, with Star Wars, I'm busy, right? I got there's a lot of stuff going on
all the time.
Yeah,
all the time you're doing something, which is great, man. And so thank you again for being here. We will get into some Star Wars talk. Before I'm out, I do want to get into the Fett work, like we're saying. You can find me here Wednesdays at 5:30. Please go tell your friends. I got some new subscribers while we were on. That's awesome. Trying to hit that 1,000 so we can get things going. So all I ask is if you enjoy, go share, please. Let them know, and we're here. And then part of that great Fett work, we got tonight, 8 p.m. with the Sarlacc Digest. You can find everything here that I'm going to mention in the description. 8 p.m. on Wednesday nights for all your Star Wars news. We coined the term Line Talk, where we get into the discussions and theory craft and like that. We got a great crew over there. You want some toy news, like I was showing you. Thank you to the Toy Migos. Cheney allows me to use his stuff over here to show for all those great toy news information, everything. You can find us Thursday nights on Toy Migos YouTube with They're Not Dolls. You guys already know that. But if you're new here because of the Fett work, then we got Boba Squadron going on that I'm a part of with Toying Around, Yoko, and Paul. We started off breaking down the Boba Fett episodes, and then we got into people wanted more. So when we started this podcast thing, we get into pop culture stuff, art collecting, movies, talking about old movies, which is great. And we have Yoko, and lately it's been all Kev catching up and trying to watch all these classic movies that me and Paul are blown away with. That how do people not know these movies yet like we do?
Yeah.
Me and you go off all the time on movie quotes. And that's there too. So you'd be right up there with me, with Paul and I, as we just get so frustrated. Like, how do you not know this?
I know, right?
So that's now, you can find that on Toying Around. He has all the links for your podcast. Please throw us into your rotation. And if not, you can also catch it. Yes, I'm a probie. I'm sorry, Yoko. I'm cut like every day, but I am.
That's funny.
On probation. Okay. I will. I enjoy it over there. Hopefully they keep me around.
Yeah.
And then with that, as a part of this whole great thing that's going on, you got Kev before us on Thursdays with Toying Around, as he has Unboxing Thursdays. Yoko, like I said, is Tuesday nights at 7:30 and the midnight 30, breaking down all of the new Disney Plus shows. So right now it's Moon Knight 30. And then you got Paul on Sundays with his Fun Boxing Sundays. Great show, especially for, oh man, talk about enabling stuff, man. I want to buy all the hot toys for everything. We've talked about this. I shared, like, do you know what he got?
Yeah.
And you're like, I know I need to get that too. So
there's
a great love out there, a great Fett work that is going on. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you to the whole Federation for showing up today in the chat and everything. Thanks to my sponsor, Magically Crafted US, that you can find on Etsy. You're going on vacation, taking a Disney trip. Make sure you stop over there first. Link is in the description. Get you some custom Disney ears. So thank you for that. Plug. And I will see you guys next week. And now's your chance to definitely go check out the rest of the other shows. Get those views up. Hit that thumbs up. It will help me out a lot. Marco, thank you. I will see you
man.
in an hour, sir.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget, I'll put it in my stories, guys. Come join us for some Star Wars talk. If that's your jam, that's what you're interested in, we'll be on in about an hour. Thank you guys again, everybody, for being here. I can't say thank you enough. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Marco,
Federation
thank
is
you to
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
They kept up. So
Anytime.
I'll see you
I
guys. Oh,
appreciate it.
no, announcement. I will not see you guys next week. Next week is
What?
May the 4th.
Oh, that's right.
May the 4th. It is my wedding anniversary. Evil Diva and I will be at Disneyland this time.
Yes.
We got to do it up. That's our place. We really like it over there. We're going to be there. May the 4th be with you and Revenge of the 5th. But if you're local to the high desert, Sarlacc Digest will be at the social with our trivia stream. That happens. And that goes on there. We got prizes. People are coming, right? Dressed up.
Yeah,
Do we got the 501st this time?
I don't know if we have people from the 501st come and dress up, but I don't know if it's officially sponsored because it is a bar.
Yeah, not sponsored, but they're showing up.
Yeah, but we do have a charity toy drive. And definitely people coming in costume. So
bring the $10 toy. We got trivia, Star Wars trivia going on all night for May 4th. Prizes.
Yeah, it's a blast, man. And if you can't make it, if you're not local, tune into the Sarlacc Digest channel because you will have to participate in the Star Wars trivia video that's going to be there for you too. So it's going to be all around on May 4th. Yeah.
It was fixed. That's all I'm going to say when you guys watch it. It was fixed. It was fixed.
Okay.
I demand something
Fett,
different next year.
Fett has a number 1 next to his name. That wasn't changed from the score. Okay. That's a
I didn't even notice that was still there.
The Fallen Fett won.
So no stream
no
next
spoilers,
week.
But
so it's perfect for you guys to go check out all of the other Fallen Fett Chronicles. And then don't forget to join me Saturday with Evil Diva as we do How We Do Disney, bringing you Disney Park news and like
Love
that.
It.
So
that's my favorite, dude. I'm sorry.
2 weeks.
You guys are awesome.
Thanks. Did you enjoy that one?
Oh, God,
I had a lot. I got to get Yoko on there. She was jumping in with a lot of good points, and that's what I like. I like when everybody joins in the conversation and adds 100%. To it and brings out other points and like that. Oh my God. Like the biggest thing I forgot that I was like, babe, how did we not say this? When you get out of your car, take a picture of where you're at.
I always do. My phone is full of Goofy 2G. I mean, full of it because that is the smart. Yeah. The first thing I do.
Because the worst thing is at night.
On my head, so, yeah.
The worst thing at night is everybody doing their alarm, walking around back and forth. That's the worst is when you're pressing the alarm and it's not going off.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm in the wrong building.
Like, that is the worst, dude.
That's funny. That's the first thing I do.
And it happens constantly.
Yeah. And it's a great tip, you know?
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot that. As soon as you park, you look at that picture, Chippendale, Donald, Goofy, Mickey, Minnie, even if you're over on the Toy Story parking lot, I mean the Pixar side.
Yeah. Well, like Yoko said in the chat, do that for anywhere you go. That's just it's a good habit to get into. Yeah.
Yoko said I do that wherever I park. Anywhere. Yeah, because it's sad. And you can't help them because you don't know where they're parked, but you know exactly what they're doing.
Are you sure you're in this parking lot?
Yeah. Ryan, just hit up Moocher. You can DM him and he'll let you know what's going on.
If I can, I will. Absolutely. I have done like I said, I have a couple companies that or individuals that I do print to order or order, stuff for them as commissions. So hit me up. PM me in those things and see if I can. Like I said, if I have the printers available and the file ready to go, then let's do it. But I'm limited on design work. I know that. Like designing action figures and stuff. So
just send him a DM. He's Darth Moocher on there. Toshi Station Emporium is on Instagram, or as I have the link down there in the .com as well. So that's the best way to get a hold of you, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay.
I check it all the time, so I don't let those messages go too long.
Okay. Awesome, man. So thank you guys, everybody, for being here. I will see you in 2 weeks, or we will see you on How We Do Disney. May the 4th be with you. Check out some Austin trivia next week since I won't be here. And I want to know your score, too, when you come back, because it was definitely fixed. Thanks, guys. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Peace.